Alright, let's do some Flame Shrine before we do Guild Wars. So, we are fighting... Different intro for YouTube, but we just finished Aspen Dungeon run, and we are going to hop into day 2 of the Sigmund Flame Shrine. Randomized hasn't done his attacks yet, but we beat him day 1, so should be fine. The real goal is to hit 1 trillion damage, which I've yet to do, unfortunately. So maybe this is the run. Not the day, but tomorrow. So, we run Ithaqua in the front. Oh yeah, her gearing is... Yeah, she's correct. 3-1 with the weapon. Holy Attack Stone, because we run a crit build, so she doesn't actually need the crit attack stone. And we ran... Purify on her? No, I didn't need Purify on her against Sigmund. Yeah, even the dot she heals up just fine. So she runs full red, glittery, Antlers Cane, Holy Attack, and 3-1. We run Drake in the front with her. 2-2 split. We actually... Yeah, we don't have to run an aggressive Drake. It doesn't matter. So 2-2 split with that glittery Demon Bell. And he also doesn't... we'll keep purifying him just in case. He gets a little low sometimes since he doesn't have the final enables. So run 2-2-3 on Drake. E3 Heart Watcher, 2-2 split, speed HP, regular Demon Bell, and regular Heart Watcher enables. Delaciums are geared tanky, 2-2 split, HP Stone, and Fearless on both of them. And we will get a skin for this guy soon too. And finally we run an 8-star Rogan. Surprisingly good, and he's just basic 2-2 split with a magic source. His job is to stay alive for Warpath Roar, as well as give Thirsty to our Delaciums to help them heal up. So let's hop in and see if we can beat yesterday's total. So we also run the Dragon, which is why there's no burn pet, and why Ithaqua has Holy Attack Stone instead of that crit attack. She's still a little low on crit chance, especially since Rogan is 8-star. So she is at 63% plus... She gets... No, Rogan's a he, sorry. Plus 7% from the Rogan. Plus another... I want to say 10 from the Dragon. Yeah, so she's actually only at 80% crit chance, unfortunately. The Rogan, once he gets to 9-star, he'll give her 3% more crit, so she'll be up to 83. That number seems a little low. Why? My Ithaqua should have higher than that. Did we do something wrong? No, she wants the weapon for the crit. Yeah, 63%. Yeah, she's at 80%, and she can go a little higher. So she does have lower chance to crit, but we're not going over the cap by running that crit attack stone. So let's jump in and see how it goes. So Drake is fastest with that skin, even though he doesn't have speed enables, which is super cool. And yeah, Sigmund is nice because he doesn't do a ton of damage. So as long as you can outlast his burn debuffs on your Delaciums, you'll be fine. And as you see, both Delaciums are healing themselves. That's because Rogan's active hit both of them. So Ithaqua does get the Dragon buff. But yeah, so Bloodthirsty allows you to heal with your basics and active. So Delaciums can heal themselves even at 10-star if Rogan tags them, which is awesome. And Ithaqua already heals herself. So yeah, even without the Phoenix heal, this team has plenty of sustain. It's just Rogan's active sometimes doesn't quite hit the right targets, although it's still rare for me to lose heroes with this current team. So Dragon buff is this right here. This is holy damage, so Ithaqua did get the buff again. $700 million active in round 7, not bad. You're at this point with the star levels of my heroes, I'm hoping to hit 1 billion actives by round 10 on the Ithaqua, and then it's just a matter of RNG on the Delacium dot replications. Yeah, this team is super fun. My next upgrades, I would love to get another Antlers cane for Thaqua since she's only glittery, but at this point, I think I can get a 9-star Rogan if I get enough Sherlock copies from this event. So that'll help a little bit with the damage and survivability, and then I have enough copies of Delacium to get one of these two to E3, which would give them Purify for DA as well as some Broken Spaces levels. I'd love to get them both. I'd love this whole team to be E5, but Heartwatcher's not really necessary. Drake will get there for my PvP team anyway, and I'm not rushing the Delacium since they're obviously doing a ton of damage at 10-star. So yeah, at this point, E5ing the Delaciums would mostly be for like GDP optimizations. Yeah, and there's also branches, but I don't know who I'll be using my branches for. Actually, Rogan is an option. A 10-star Rogan would be nasty on this team. I haven't been paying attention to the actives the last few rounds. Let's see how we did though. Ooh, that is my worst run in 2 days. What happened there? 52.5 billion. So my goal is to get 83.3 billion in attack because that is 1 trillion damage. So Athaqua's damage is a little low. With this setup, I'm usually looking for 18 to 20 billion, but this was the real bad RNG. These Delaciums were either replicating way too many of Heartwatcher's debuffs, or the early round Ithaqua dots before Glittery Antler Cane ramped up. So definitely not ideal, but still acceptable for now. But we need higher attacks than that. I think my record hit yesterday was 127.4 was my best one. So definitely breaking 100 billion against Siggy with this lineup. No, I mean, the difference between first and second place is fairly small reward-wise, but A, I like making the content and playing with the team, and B, I am far enough behind in guild tech that, like, first place rewards do actually help me. Although the difference, I could show them again, but the difference between first and, like, even 10th is pretty small. It's honestly probably not even worth 100 gems I spend every day, but it is fun and it's for the content. But yeah, I used to just do 2 attacks a day with my Garuda team and get 10th place and be fine with it. Alright. Dragon does hit Ithaqua, that's good. 628 million active. But yeah, so if you can make a Rogan, he is going to give you higher damage than a 3rd Delacium, but he is going to be a lot less consistent. 3 Delaciums basically mean you're never going to die, and you will get good replications eventually, but 1 Rogan will give you higher top scores, which is really your biggest choices for this 6th slot. It's a Rogan, it's a 3rd Delacium, it's a Burn Hero, Gurk, Olivia. Olivia is actually really comparable to Rogan. The damage differences between when I was running an Olivia here with Dragon Pet and when I'm running a Rogan here are pretty small. Again, Rogan was a bit higher, but Olivia was more consistent. So it really just depends on A, who you have, and B, what you want. I only have a 10-star Olivia. If I E5 her, there won't be much of a difference, but I may show her off again. It does hit Ithaqua again, thankfully, but I don't think she'll get around 13 active unless this Glittery Demon Bell procs for her. So watch when or she gets hit by an active. Yep, so Demon Bell helped. 1.278 billion on that active. So this should be a bit better of a run compared to the first one. Does hit her again, but she won't get an active off before it's over. What the hell happened there? 29.9 billion. Is my gear terribly wrong? What? That is the worst Aspen hit or as Sigmund hit. Ugh. Those Delaciums didn't replicate crap. So I still need to make a guide for this, but if you don't know how Delacium works, they pick 2 random dot or debuff effects on the opponent and replicate it out, as well as potentially increasing the length of it. So this is the worst damage I've seen from Delacium ever, which meant that they were literally only replicating Heartwatcher, her debuffs over and over and over again instead of the dot damage from Ithaqua. So this is honestly a great example of the worst case scenario with this team. So this is why this is an RNG heavy team. You make Heartwatcher's there to A, increase the team's damage, and B, increase the team's survivability. So Heartwatcher's mark is the reason that you see the enemies doing -1 and -2 damage instead of, you know, a ton. So it tags them with a mark for, I believe, 2 rounds? No, okay, so they reduce 25% attack for 2 rounds, which is how you get them doing -1 and -2 damage, as well as increasing your damage up to 300%. So her biggest use is that attack debuff, but the combination of the two is great. If it was only an attack debuff, you could do stuff like Illyria and Delacium, but not as useful as the stacking of both debuffs. But, so yeah, that's the worst case scenario RNG for this team. It means they weren't replicating the dots as much as Heartwatcher stuff. So hopefully this one goes a lot better. We really need like 100 billion attacks at this point. So 10-star just gives him a slightly better active. Honestly, Delacium can be 9-star and still have the same number of dot replication effects. 10-star, he just has a slightly better active for a little more damage, as well as a little more survivability. But yeah, there's no difference as far as dot replication between a 9-star Delacium and an E5 Delacium. That said, they are more survivable, and they do some of their own damage. E5 Delacium does, oh, so we really need Bloodthirsty to land on that back row Delacium, or we will have another bad, yep, son of a bitch. Stream, we were there for Aspen Dungeon, but you are letting my Flame Shrine down. This is going to be a pretty bad run. So yeah, that's one less Delacium replicating not only our dot damage, but our Heartwatcher debuffs. So this one is going to hurt.
Fast forward a year or two, friends have changed, but so can you.
Yeah, I mean, that team is great.
So can you.
Yeah, so when you lose one Delacium, you stop replicating as many Heartwatcher debuffs, and you end up like this. So, yeah, so like I said, last round was worst case scenario. We got more damage than last round, and we lost all of our heroes. So, yeah, this is where the RNG comes into effect with this team, but we still managed to do better than last round. And this is one of my worst Sigmund days yet, but yeah, 8.6 billion from the Athaqua, and the Delaciums didn't do much. So we actually may lose first place to randomized. We've only done about 100 billion today when our best hit yesterday was 127 billion. Let me make sure everyone is geared correctly. I think I fixed everything, but I feel like a crazy person. Yeah, so yeah, it's just been straight up RNG. Alright, we'll hop in the last one. Hopefully we can get a really big hit just to show you guys the actual peak damages, but just not getting that luck. Yeah, so that's basically the team I ran for my new Broken Spaces video, only I did not run Russell, I ran a Olivia in that place, so even more buffs and debuffs. So yeah, this is going a little better. We're getting at least the Heartwatcher debuffs replicated. No, so Flame Shrine, you're not actually meant to kill the opponents. It's just who gets the most damage over the course of X amount of days. It's looking good so far. So we'll get another dragon and 11. Hopefully we can get some more energy on Athako from Sigmund's. It doesn't hit her anyway, that's unfortunate. Alright, last active. 1.4 billion, so this should be definitely a better run. Yeah. Flame Shrine is definitely a place where you can get trillions, although... Okay, so 73.5 billion. Not terrible, but all 4 of our attacks were lower than we would like today, unfortunately. So Athako's damage was right where we wanted it to be, about 19.6 billion. But the Delaciums didn't replicate as many dots as we'd like. Still 24 and 29 billion each, but in the end, we are at 554.8 billion. So we got 186.3 billion today, so Randomized will probably pass us, unfortunately, unless he gets bad RNG too. And we're not going to get 1 trillion damage unless we get absurd luck. I mean, we need to average 112 billion in attack. So that is unfortunate. Yeah, the randomize is 388. We've got a 394 on our server. Oh, but yeah, so reward-wise, first place gets you 7,500 guild coins, and worst place gets you 6,000. So not a huge difference between the two, but it's fun for the content as well as trying out new stuff. And I do still need a bunch of guild coins. Alright, let's re-gear everyone, and then we'll do some guild wars.